So I've got something that I want you to consider. I want you to consider at what times do you overeat, binge, eat shit and drink alcohol. What time of the day does this happen? Because one thing I guarantee you is the fact that you don't wake up in the morning and binge. If you do, you've got a serious problem. But 99.9% of you will only binge later on in the day. So that's probably 5 p.m. onwards. So why is this? Why don't we get up in the morning? Because a lot of us say that our binging is uncontrollable, we can't help it. Okay, but why doesn't it happen first thing in the morning? Why is it only last thing or late in the evening? And there's one reason for this, and that one reason is tiredness. Tiredness, because when we wake up in the morning, we're fresh, we're alert, things are within our control, not much goes wrong. But as the day goes by and we've been through work, the stresses, and we become to get tired and tired throughout the day, that's when our decision making gets worse and worse and worse and worse. So what I want you to consider is the fact that your binging and your shit choice of foods is down to one simple thing, and that's your tiredness. So how do we deal with that? So that's making sure that we get adequate sleep. Okay? Tiredness also comes from lack of energy. So for you people who are getting lack of sleep and you're skipping breakfast, skipping lunch, and then having a massive tea, again, that is why you're binging late at night, because your energy levels, blood sugar levels are dropping throughout the day. So all of a sudden at some point you're going to need something, so that at the end of the night you tend to overeat big style. And then not only, because this is familiar, not only do you just have your tea, then you start snacking late into the night as well, and then you're staying up late, and then you're having a short amount of sleep, and then you're repeating that cycle. So you're binging, like I said, you don't wake up craving chocolate crisps, alcohol, junk foods, KFCs, all the shite that people do binge on, ice cream. We don't wake up and want it. It's only later on through the day that it happens. So we need to protect us from our tiredness. So like I said, we need to make sure we eat little and often, so our energy levels are high. We need to make sure that we get adequate sleep. Okay, so that's a minimum of 6 hours, and we also need to make sure that we're hydrated. Okay, so dehydration is accountable for a lot of bad decisions, because a lot of the time you probably are thirsty and you don't even know it, and you're actually thinking that you're hungry when really you're thirsty. So stress and tiredness are two of the big keys for you overeating and binge eating. And like I said, you don't do it at the start of the day, you do it at the end of the day. So how can you deal with that? What can you do? Like I said, I've given you a few tips, and that's like I said, getting adequate sleep, that's eating little and often, that's staying hydrated, and maybe a lot of you actually overeat as well due to boredom. So boredom, when you sat down doing nothing, and the easiest thing to do is grab something. So maybe do something in the evening, rather than just coming home from work, sit down on your bum for the rest of the evening, and you get bored. So when you're tired and bored and you can't be arsed, this is when you want easy food choices. Okay? And like I said, you can go, a lot of people I deal with, they don't eat much throughout the day, and then all of a sudden they have this whop-off meal, but they're telling everyone they're not eating much and they don't know why they're putting on weight. It's because at the end of the night they're eating so much, they're eating more than what they would have done if they had little meals spread out through the day. So let's keep an eye on this. Think about your behaviour pattern. Think about at what points do I binge eat, what points do I overeat, what points do I have alcohol, because I guarantee you it's not first thing in the morning, and I guarantee you that it's down to tiredness.